Hello, Aries. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of August 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I'm going to be using my Trippin Waite Tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider Waite Tarot, as I always do. And then I will close out your reading, Aries, with a Crystal Angels Oracle card. I think that's it for our intro. Let's go ahead and see what's showing up for Aries in August. Lots of healing going on for you, and also something as we move into August, Aries. I'm seeing here that you come to the realization that something wasn't what you expected it to be. All right, let me make sure nobody is cut off here. So you see this Nine of Cups here. That's the Wish card. It's a beautiful card. One of my favorite cards in the deck. It's always a positive card. But the thing is when I see him in the reverse, it tells me that you got something that you wanted, but it wasn't as good as you anticipated. You know, you got exactly what you wanted, but you're like, this kind of falls short of my expectations. And you know, everybody goes through that. It's sometimes it's like a realization kind of thing where excuse me, where you know, you work for something, you work towards something, and then you get it, and then you're just like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. This isn't feeling like how I'm not feeling like how I thought I was going to feel. And this happens a lot, I see, with clients, private clients, and also just in my own life. When you get to either a certain level of success or a certain level of achievement, yes, it's very happy, it's very exciting, but at the same time, it's not what we thought it was, okay? And so it looks like you're kind of going through that to some degree, Aries. Now, the thing is like there's still a lot of potential in that place, because it's like you come to the realization, number one, that you can do something and you can really achieve your goal. But the other thing is that you realize like not everything is worth the sacrifice. Okay? And I'm not saying don't work hard, don't do what you want to do, or don't take the necessary steps. But sometimes we really have to pick and choose where we're putting our time and our energy. And I'm feeling like that's kind of what's going on here. When we move into this new month of August, Aries, you're going to come to that realization. And it's going to be something that actually brings you more fulfillment, more joy, because now you understand the whole process. And I'm really feeling like there's a money connection to this. And the thing is here is we have this Ten of Swords in the reverse. We also have the Three of Swords in the reverse. These two cards, they always seem to show up together when there's healing and there's overcoming and there's a breakthrough in spiritual and emotional healing. Now that right there says a lot, because there's growth there. There's also the removal of anything that's blocking your potential. It's also disrupting these deeply embedded beliefs about who we are, what we can have, and how we can live our lives. So Aries, you know, and I hope this is making sense, because I'm really just kind of getting a download that there is something going on where you're happy, but at the same time you're not as happy as you thought you would be. When it comes to money, sometimes more doesn't necessarily fill that need of whatever it is that we're searching for. But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with money. I'm not saying don't make the money, and I'm not saying that money is bad. Quite the contrary. Money is wonderful. But I am saying that sometimes achieving, making more, having more, doing more doesn't quite fill the need that you're looking to fill. We also have this Seven of Cups in reverse. Now this talks about having not a whole lot of choices as far as what we're going to do next, right? You achieve something, maybe it didn't quite hit the spot, but it doesn't mean it was bad, but now you're seeing what's next, right? And because you're kind of in the position where you're at, you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Or maybe the only option at this point is to do this. So you're going to have to figure it out as far as what your next step is going to be, and you're going to feel like maybe you've got this tunnel vision, or maybe you've kind of boxed yourself in one way, shape, or form. I want you to kind of be very deliberate in not seeing that as something negative. Now the Judgment card is all about you. It's all about how you are seeing the world. It's about how you are filtering your experience. It's about how you interpret and how you process and how you perceive things. The Judgment card in the upright is a very powerful card because it means that you can literally just shift your perception and everything kind of changes instantly. So even though you may feel like, oh, this didn't work out, or oh, this wasn't what I thought it would be, trust me, there's still some amazing things that are going to come because of this. The other thing is that things don't always happen in the way that you think they do, but it's not because you're doing anything wrong, okay? And I have a feeling some of you are kind of thinking, oh, I made a mistake by doing this, or I made the wrong choice by choosing this. It's not that, okay? It's not that. But it will require you, like I said, to have a shift in perception. And when you do, that's really going to unlock unlimited potential for you, unlimited amounts of money, unlimited amounts of success. Next, we have the Knight of Swords. So once you kind of go through this stuff and you kind of do a little bit of soul searching, Aries, things start moving very, very quickly. Maybe even a little bit too quickly to the degree that you weren't ready for it. But you're like, hey, bring it on. You know, you've achieved something. You're ready for the next thing. And maybe that's exactly what it is that you need at this point, because you realize, okay, I can do this. Let's see what's next, and things really start moving quickly. Now the other thing I'm getting with the Knight of Swords here is like money starts coming in very, very quickly. Even though you may not totally be in the place where you want to be, you have to be ready, because when things start happening, you're not going to have time to really catch up. So it's one of those things where you want to be prepared, and it's one of those things where you really want to take your time and figure out, okay, this is what I want. I'm going to be open to how it shows up, and I'm going to embrace what shows up, and I'm going to work with what shows up, right? Next, we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. That is sometimes looking in the past and defining the present and the future by what happened in the past, and that doesn't always work. And I think you're aware of that, Aries. I don't think that's something that you're clueless about by any means. But it is something that you do have to let go of, and you have to really understand that just because something in the past happened the way it did, it doesn't dictate and predict what will happen now or what will happen in the future. All right, Aries, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of August 2021. All right, so I already can see that energetically, once we hit the second half or the second week of August, things are going to feel a little scattered. things are going to feel a little out of balance. Things are going to just feel like they're kind of all over the place. It's almost like a clearing of the path, but it's like when you declutter a room and you take everything out and then the room just looks like a mess, but it has to look like that before things get cleared out and put away and organized, and things start falling into place. So once we hit the second week of August, Aries, that's what's going to be happening here. We have the Star card. This is a beautiful card. This is a positive card. Doesn't matter how it shows up in any of my readings. The thing about the Star card, though, is sometimes when she's in the reverse, we have to pay attention to our health. So make sure you're not neglecting yourself in any way, because that will have an effect on your bottom line. That will have an effect on your ability to make the money you want to make. Next, we have the Six of Pentacles, also in the reverse. This means that you're not quite showing up for yourself. I don't know what that could be, but it looks like there's an invitation, or maybe there's an opportunity and you don't pursue it. Could be because you're feeling shy. Maybe you're not comfortable with it, but please understand that there's going to be opportunities coming your way, and you need to embrace them, and you need to kind of step into them. The Tower card is also a breaking down of things that need to be kind of rearranged. So this is where I said I'm picking up on, things are going to look kind of chaotic for a little while, but you have to understand everybody goes through that, and sometimes that is necessary to get you to the place where you want to go. So you have to understand things are not going to be perfectly aligned every minute of every day. There are going to be some moments where things just kind of look like they're just scattered. And it's one of those things where you just got to have to push your way through it and understand it's a normal part of the process. Now, the other thing is that you have to understand that sometimes what's happening externally doesn't always mean that that's how things are going to be. Everything changes, and you have to remain flexible through those changes. Next, we got the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. That's actually a very good card to see in the reverse, because it means that your budget is on point. It means that you are keeping track of your finances, and you are feeling like you are in control of your money. Now, that doesn't mean you have all the money that you desire, or maybe you do, but it does mean that you are getting smarter with your money. You are making more conscious choices, and you are being mindful of how your money is working for you. Next, we have the Ace of Cups. This is the start of something that doesn't quite take off to the degree that we were expecting. Again, this is kind of a similar energy of what we saw here. The Ace of Cups means a passion project, something new, something that you had your heart set on, doesn't quite unfold in the way that you wanted it to. Now, it doesn't mean that it's negative. It just means that there's some, alterations that we have to be aware of. Could be something related to a passion project or a dream job, or it could just be an opportunity that didn't quite hit the mark like you thought it would. Finally, we have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is a good card because it means you're being recognized for your work, but at the same time, it's also you kind of making the choice to not showcase yourself in the best possible way, Aries. Now, everybody does this. I know I've been guilty of that. It's like where you don't really kind of put yourself out there. It's kind of like when you just, maybe take a lazy approach where you feel like, oh, I'm not going to necessarily, take all these photos today, or whatever the case may be. But it's one of those things where you have to be aware of what you're doing, right? You have to be aware that sometimes when you make these split-second decisions, they can have long-term consequences, right? And it's not necessarily anything negative, but it's kind of slowing you down. And it could be something where you're not on the fast track to what you thought you were. It could also be something where you feel like, if I could have done this, maybe I would be here by now. So it's one of those things where you just have to really pay attention and be mindful to what you're doing and what you're not doing. All right, Aries, let's see what else is showing up. Whoa. For you. See, we've got a repeater. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. quite a few repeaters. Okay. So we've got a repeater, excuse me, of that Three of Pentacles. Again, be mindful of the choices that you're making, because you really have to pay attention to what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it. Excuse me. Queen of Cups. This is, sometimes when I see the Queen of Cups in the reverse, it means that she's a little bit too emotionally attached to something that may not necessarily serve her. It's not something to worry about. Again, it's something to be aware of. And again, everybody experiences it. King of Wands means that there's some changes happening at the workplace. Probably it's going to be something surprising, but I'm not surprised, because we already talked about there's going to be a shakeup going on. There's going to be a lot of things shifting and being rearranged, and you're going to have to really just kind of work your way and flow your way through it. Two of Wands, again, we talked about that. Two of Wands is about not letting the past dictate the present or the future, especially as it relates to money. Now you're getting stronger, you're getting wiser, you're getting more self-sufficient. So understand that you can make much more powerful decisions. Next, we have the Eight of Cups. This is walking away from something that should have been walked away from a long time ago. Could be something related to your work, your career. It could also be a relationship. But I do feel like there is something personal related to this, but there's also money attached to it. There's something that you probably should have not agreed to, and now you're seeing, oh yeah, this is something I'm going to have to get out of, especially because it's costing me more than the value that I'm receiving in exchange for it. The Two of Swords talks about making a very powerful decision. You're going to be making a decision once we hit the second half of August, Aries. It's going to be a decision that is going to be related to your financial landscape to some degree. Could be something related to a job, could be something related to your investments. The other thing is, I'm also feeling too like there's a decision here being made about maybe relocating for some of you. There could be an offer for you to transfer to another department, or maybe transfer to another office, with your company. And it's a tough decision because it's going to involve not only you, but your family. We also have, again, this Three of Swords. We saw him here. Beautiful card to see in the reverse, because that's a card about healing, okay? It's a healing card. And it's a card that talks about releasing of emotional pain, releasing of emotional blockages, and also just feeling like things are just coming together. Wow. All right, what else do we need to know? I think I flipped this card. What else do we need to know for the sign of Aries as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance? All right, so as we close out the month of August, Aries, looks like you are going to be in a very, very good position. You've got some new opportunities coming your way. Queen of Swords. I'm feeling like this Queen of Swords is there's a cutting open of something. I want to say, like, I felt when I first looked at this card, what I saw instantly was a nurse and surgery. And I hesitated saying that because obviously the context of this reading is going to be is finances and money. But when I saw her, instantly I saw a nurse and surgery. So I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't know if some of you are going have surgery scheduled at the end of the month, or maybe somebody close to you has surgery scheduled at the end of the month. But that's what came through with that card, which is very interesting. Because usually I don't get those types of flashes doing a money reading, but that's what I got. Next we have the Chariot in the reverse. The Chariot in the reverse talks about things happening simultaneously, things happening, at the same time, and sometimes it's a bit overwhelming. The thing is, though, the Chariot means is, things are progressing, things are happening, things are moving, and you have to figure out a way to keep up, or you have to figure out a way to streamline your process and streamline your attention. because there is money to be made. There is money that is flowing out there. You just have to figure out the most effective way to capture it all. Next, we have the Ace of Wands. This is a brand new business venture. It could be even a new job for some of you. However, I'm picking up that this is new growth. This is new expansion as it relates to your money and as it relates. I'm feeling specifically that this is investments for a lot of you. Looks like a lot of you are going to see some positive growth, some gains in your investment portfolio. The other thing is that for those of you who have a business, looks like things are really going to grow and things are going to blossom and expand at the end of the month. We also have the Nine of Cups that is reiterating that it is going to be a very positive money flow time for you. The Nine of Cups is the wish card. Whatever it is that you're wishing for, it does come true to some degree, maybe not fully delivered, but you are going to start seeing signs of good happening, of money happening in your life. Next, we got the Hierophant. You're getting blessings. You're getting good spiritual support at this time. The other thing about the Hierophant is it just means that things really start working in your favor. Things really start kind of turning around for you, not only emotionally, but spiritually and mentally as well. Now, the other thing about the Hierophant is this is also a card of ethics, and it means that you really do the right thing at the right time, and you are rewarded for that. There's also a karmic energy kind of attached to this card, which means good karma is coming your way. You finally reap the benefits of doing the right thing for so long. Finally, we have the King of Pentacles. This means that get educated, get informed, learn more about money, finances, investment, whatever it is that you're interested in, because the more you know, the more opportunity you're going to create for yourself. The more you understand, the more you expand your knowledge as it relates to money and finances. It just allows you to increase your holdings that much more. It allows you to attract more. It allows you to make better investment decisions. And it also really kind of guides you, as far as what you need to do and what you need to not do at this time. So overall, Aries, things probably are going to feel a little bit rough in the middle of the month, but by the time August closes out, you're going to feel really, really empowered, and you're going to have a much more solid grasp on what it is you want to do and how you want to do it. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Crystal Angels Oracle card. Beautiful. You got the card Yellow Jasper. Very interesting, this picture here. This says control issues. Utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing that others may try to control you. Now, this is interesting because I'm wondering if this is what we're picking up in the middle of the month here, right? You do have strength. You do have power. And maybe that is what you need to focus on more than the feeling of being controlled or being limited in some way. All right, Aries, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, drop them down below. I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.